السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. نبدأ حلقتنا بيونت 3. A funny thing happened. Look at the pictures on the web page below, then discuss in pairs what you think might be happen. Funnystories.com. If you are looking for funny stories, this is the site for you. Full of true, real-life stories posted by readers. You can search under these headings: coincidences, misunderstandings, unintended meanings. Coincidences: stories about strange, unexpected events and connections. Stories about strange, unexpected events and connections. اللي هي المصادفة unexpected events and connections. Misunderstandings: stories about people getting the wrong idea اللي هي سوء فهم misunderstandings. Unintended meanings اللي هي معنى غير مقصود stories about saying things that aren't quite what you mean اللي هي معنى غير مقصود أو فهم بشكل غير مقصود يعني من الراوي أو القارئ. To give you a quick test, here are 3 of our recent favorites. One day I noticed that some bananas, which I had bought about a week before, were going brown. Let's make some banana cakes, I said to my 6-year-old daughter, Fatima. It took quite a long time, but it kept Fatima busy, and we had fun making them. When they were done, we tried one, and it was actually delicious. So I suggested taking one to Mr. Aziz, the old man who lives next door. When Mr. Aziz opened the door, before I could say a word, Fatima told him we had some old bananas that were going bad. So instead of throwing them away, we made them into a cake for you. I hope you like it. Paragraph B. A couple of years ago, I was talking to an old school friend that I would get in touch with when she mentioned another person called Jan who had been in the same class as us. Neither of us had heard from her or even thought about her for over 10 years. I didn't give the conversation another thought until 3 days later, when I was working in London for 2 days. As I was traveling to the office, I saw a woman on the train. Our eyes met, and we seemed to recognize each other. "Excuse me," she said, "but are you Susan?" It was, of course, Jan. As it turned out, she was only visiting London for a few days and was about to return to Italy, where she had lived for over 5 years. طبعا فهمتوا الفكرة العامة للقطعتين، هذه القطعة number A and هذه القطعة number B. Let's go to paragraph number C. About 3 or 4 times a year, a company that I do some work for organizes a day of meetings for those of us that work from home. They put us up in a hotel, and it's good chance for colleagues who don't meet that often to catch up with each other. The last time this happened, I arrived at hotel quite late and went straight to bed. The next morning, I walked into the breakfast room and saw my old colleague Dan, a short man with a bald head, standing with his back to me. "Good morning, Dan," I said, putting him on the head in a friendly way. Unfortunately, the man who turned to face me wasn't Dan at all, but a complete stranger. To make things worse, he was a rather formal man who didn't see the funny side of the situation. "I am sorry to say that you may have made an error," he said. You can post on story by clicking the button below. Okay. Let's answer the paragraph with the meaning, the general meaning. This is unintended meaning، معنى غير مقصود. هذه اللي بتحكي عن الموج القديم، معنى غير مقصود. Unintended meaning. And this, it is of course coincidence، صدفة. And this is, it is misunderstanding. Okay, we answered this already. Let's match the words and phrases from the stories with their meanings. Okay. Kept in touch اللي تعني يبقى على تواصل. Yes, which one of these means kept in touch? Yes, it is stayed in contact. Stayed in contact. Number D. Mentioned تعني قال شيئا عن أو ذكر. Mentioned, said something about. Yes, it is C. Said something about. C. patting. patting معنى يضرب بخفة، يعني يربط. patting. hitting gently means hitting gently اللي هي F. hitting gently. error تعني خطأ أو mistake. error, yes, it is number G. mistake. straight معناها مباشرة means immediately. B. colleague معناها زميل someone you work with. someone you work with. number H. bald تعني أصلع without hair. number A. stranger it is someone you don't know. E. someone you don't know. use the words and phrases in activity 3 to complete the sentences below. نستخدم هذه التعبيرات والكلمات في هذا لنملأ الفراغ. هذه الجمل. Okay. 1. While he was away, he with his family by email. It is so easy. Kept in touch. Okay. Number 2. Instead of stopping for a coffee, I went home. I went straight home. مباشرة إلى المنزل. straight. straight home. Number 3. I remember she the name of a book yesterday, but I can't remember the title. Yes, she mentioned. ذكرت اسم الكتاب البارحة. mentioned. Number 4. He looks older than he is because he is almost completely. Yes, it is bald. إنه يبدو أكبر من سنه قليلا لأنه أصلع تقريبا بدأ يصلع. حسنا. Number 5. I have no idea who he was. He was just a. أنا لا أملك فكرة عن ما هو. إنه فقط غريب. stranger. a stranger. While I was my friend's cat, it bit me. بينما أنا أربط على قطة صديقي إنها عضتني. patting. patting. Number 7. I see him every day, but he isn't a friend of mine. He's just a colleague. He's just a colleague. إنه فقط زميل. It is hard to speak another language without making a single error. إنه من الصعب أن تتكلم لغة أخرى بدون أن تفعل خطأ لغوي أو خطأ لفظي. Okay. Number 5. Rewrite the sentences using the phrasal verbs in books. Change the form of the verb if needed. Okay. Coach up, put up, turned out. Coach up, put up, turned out. I didn't realize who she was at first, but we discovered that we would be at school together. We had been at school together. I didn't realize who she was at first, but that we had been at school together. Turned out. Turned out هنا بمعنى اتضحت، يعني اتضح أننا كنا في نفس المدرسة معا. Turn out. Turned out. Number 2, he was visiting the town for a few days, so I let him stay in my flat. He was visiting the town for a few days, so I him in my flat. أنا استضفته أو وضعته هنا بمعنى استضفته. Put him up. Put him up. Up on my flat. We hadn't seen each other for years, so having a meal together was a good chance to catch up. To catch up with each other. لنلتقي. Catch up. Discuss the questions in pairs or small groups. Which story do you think is the funniest? Which do you think is the strangest? أي قصة التي كانت مضحكة أكثر؟ وأي قصة كانت غريبة أكثر؟ طبعا القصة المضحكة برأيي اللي هي قصة البنانة، والقصة الغريبة قصة البولد مان. Number C strangest. Number A the funniest. إلى هنا تنتهي حلقة اليوم، ولنلتقي بحلقة أخرى إن شاء الله.